Hi everybody, YouTube. I know it's been a spell, guys. Yeah, we won't go into that. So I thought what we would do this week is a fugly bat. So I say fugly, I mean those bats that you order now and again, or you've made yourself at home and you're not impressed with it. It's not quite what you're in the mood for now, that it's been sat in a box or stashed away for say 3-6 months. And you want to zhuzh it up so that you can feel inspired to do something with it. So what I've done is this bat, I've had it for a while. I've had this bat now on the shelf on the website for 2 years, and it's called Cones of Wool. And it was inspired from a lovely picture literally of blue and grey yarn with the yellow plastic cones inside, and it was an amazing picture, and that's what inspired me to do it. So you have the greys and the blues in there, and the yellows. So I thought what I'll do is I'll help inspire you to just let your imagination flow a little bit, because that's what I've been lacking with a lot lately. Uninspired to I've not felt inspired to actually be really creative. So I think this is a good way for you to, like me, feel a bit inspired, not so much through pictures, but by using the colours that are in there and expanding on them. Okay, so Iona, you need to move, love. I've got a dog lies right at the bottom of my feet at the moment. Right, so this is a bat that's called Cones of Wool. It's 157 grams in total. It's been made with 70% natural light grey merino, so an undyed merino in there. And then also yellow Shetland wool, 23 micron count merino, corridel, and a dash of bamboo. And there's some Angelina in there as well. So what I thought we would do is sort out this and divide it up. So I'm going to point you down a little bit so you can see what I'm going to do first. Is a bit of prep. I need my basket because I'm going to weigh things out in a minute. So what I'm going to do is, quite literally, I want to take off the yellow. I want the yellow out of there, so I'm going to strip this bat. So I've got bits of yellow here, but they're in my layers. Now I don't mind that being in there, but what I'm going to do is take the blue away, because it's only literally 1/4 of this bat, and I will probably utilise that with other colours. I've got some colours over there just to let that just pop a bit, and I'm going to leave that yellow on there because this piece is going to get probably double carded. Okay, so I'll put that over there. Now what have I got left here? Oh, I've got some blue still in here, because when I blend I do layer over my colours, so you've got a transition. So I'm just going to try and take out the blue that's left in there. Take that out. See, it just comes out so easily. You wouldn't think that this bat's been sat on a shelf for 2 years. That's how well looked after I look after my stock, that there's no felting in there or anything. It's been sat in its little organza bag, folded up in this, up on the shelf with the rest of them sitting there behaving itself, just waiting for somebody to love it, and nobody's wanted to love it. So I love yellow and grey together, so I'm going to leave that as is. Okay, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop some soft blue in there. I know I've just took away the dark blue, but I think that's what the problem was. I think the dark blue was quite overpowering, and yellow's quite vibrant, so there's some of this yellow in it. Right, can you see the silver Angelina? So I'm going to avoid that, but what I do have is some of this bluey grey, corridel and it's merino and stellina. So I'm going to take some of this, okay, and I'm going to pop that in with that bat. And I've also got some dyed light mid-grey merino, and I'm going to again take some of this and I'm going to mix that through as well, just to help calm down that yellow a little bit and make it look like thunder and lightning. You know, that yellowy sort of cartoony artistic look of moody skies, bit of lightning coming in, or the sun peeking in behind the clouds, that sort of look after a rainstorm. So I've got a little bit of grey, I've got a little bit of this bluey opalescence in there, and I think I've got more than enough. Actually, I might have what have we got? We have got Aurora. So I've got Aurora Angelina, and I might add a little tip of this in with it as well. Now I'm going to get rid of this dark blue. I've got some blue tissue silk that I pulled out just in case I wanted it, but I'm going to move that out my way. And what I'm looking for is more of a moody blue. What have we got over here? I'm looking in my cupboard behind you. Have we got any moody blue? No, I have got. That's more of that grey, so I don't really want any more of the grey. Not that shade of grey anyway. I will go with a darker grey. So we've got two different tones of grey. We've got this grey. We've got this silver grey. And I think I will have a look, see if I can find a really soft blue in my cupboard. Let me have a look now. Oh, there's one. Is it nice? Is it going to clash with the yellow too much? No, I think we might be safe with that one. I'm just going to double check to see if I've got any more grey blue in the back of my stash behind you. What else have we got in here? We do have a dove grey, which is this really soft. Do you know what? I think I'm going to stick with that. Calm down the yellow, add in different tones on a gradient colourway. So this is how I think when I'm trying to get my thinking cap on. This is how I work when I'm trying to feel inspired and feel like I can create something that's really, really pretty and that will sell. Okay, so we've got the hints of yellow in there, so we want to calm that down. And we've got pops of Angelina in there. I might add in some more. We have got three different versions of grey. So we've got a really light grey, a powder grey, a seal grey, and a darker, more stormy coloured grey. We've got this bluey grey here, so that's where we're going. So what I need to do is stick on my scales and start weighing out the wool that I want to use. So there's some grey there, there's some grey there. So what are we up to? I'm just going to double check and take that out, make sure my scales are doing what they're supposed to do. Okay, so that's up to 55 at the moment. Then one more type of grey. Okay, so we're at 80. What I also might add in to help just break it down to give it another dimension is a bit of white. So I do have some, where is it? No, I'm not going to use that one, but I will use this one, which is white tencel top. So I'll add in some of this just to help break the colours down a little bit, and it'll help soften it as well. So we've got some lovely silky shiny wood pulp fibre tencel. So we're up to 89. I don't want to go massive on this because it's just a demo bat. And I think I will go from, where we got, lighter grey into more yellowy grey. So if we take this section here, where are we at with that? 135, and then pluck off some of this yellow from the top. Pluck off some of that yellow, and I can just hand paint it on. You see how you can see the natural grey underneath there? So where we go with this one? There we go. 150, 144. So I think I'm quite happy with that, and I will save this piece for a rainy day. Pop that up there. I've got loads of bits of bats and rovings all up there on that top shelf. So I'm going to now just strip this into little chunks that's easy to work with after. Move those excesses bits of wool out my way, and we will strip this down lengthways, the full length of the bat, and I'm just going to do it to 3 sections. 1, bit like you use in rovings, 2 and 3. Okay, so I'm going to save, no I'm not, yeah, I'll think of that when I'm going through it. So I've got my 3 split bits of bat there, and then I'm going to go split that into a few chunks because I can blend that over the top of the yellows if I find that the yellow is just too loud for what I'm looking for. Split my grey tones of merino into 3 sections. There we go. And again, this darker one. So we have this going on. So we've got the rovings, we have the light grey, the mid grey, and then the darker version of mill dyed merino. We've got some tencel, and we've got some Shetlands merino, Corriedale, Stellina, Angelina blend, and then we've got this one here. So I think this will help calm all of this down. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to get on with this. Now I need to think first of how I want to layer it up. And what I think I might do for the until I get to the last layer is just, I'm going to split this piece in half. This is the bit, one of the strips of art batt, and in between my layers I've still got little bits of yellow. So that's how it came out that way. Can you see the layers there? I'm going to split it, I'm going to turn it up on its side so the layers are facing me, and I'm just going to pinch it open. It'll help it go through the drum carder. So I'm just going to go on from here. And then I've got my other half. So again, that's how it come out my drum carder, with all the fibres going that way. But if I just tease it, you can see the layers in between, and I'm going to literally from there to there, so the layers are looking at me. I'm going to put them on like that and layer them out so you can see the stripes going down. There we go. And now I'm going to do the gradient. So I'm just going to draft out my merinos a little bit so they don't clog up. We say this every time, don't we? Without fail, there's always one that decides it wants to cause me a bit of a riot. So I'm just going to tease that on there and blend that in. And we're just doing a 3-colour gradient all the way through with highlights of yellow and white. Okay, and there's the mid-tone grey here. So I'm just going to tease that open, help open up the fibres so they're not all compacted together. There we go. You can just make that out, just and so. And then we've got the really pale dove white, potty white probably, nearer to. Or potty grey, and we'll get that on there. There we go. So with the sections of the yellow that are stripped off the top of the batt, I'm now just going to hold on to it, and I'm going to get that through so it goes on a little bit more wispier but not heavy in sections. Then I want to go in with my tencel or wood pulp fibre. There we go. Because it's a cellulose fibre, I always find no matter what I do with it, it always wants to stick to the front liquor because it's got that static sort of air about it. Now this is my opalescent. Can you just make out the Angelina? Just ever so often it twinkles. There's not a lot of it in there. I could add in some more if I wanted to, but do you know what? I think I'm going to stick with less is more. So we're going to just put that on there and feather it out so you've not got clumpy bits. There's some more tencel there sticking on. And now because I've finished all my layers, I'm just going to get my brush and I'm just going to pack it down a little. You can follow this same theory if you're using a blending board. So where's the one with a lot of yellow? I'm going to use this piece next that's got a lot of yellow on it. And again, so there's the top where I've done the layering like I'm doing now. And if I just mess with it and tweak with it, you can see, as I said, the layers that I'm doing at the moment. So there's the face of it. I'm going to turn it so the face is like that way and the layers are looking at me, and I'm going to place that on there. And there's my other section again. There's the yellow, the top layer. Turn it on its side and just tease it open so I can see the striping layers in between, and those are the ones that are going to lay on there. There we go. So I'm going to go in and repeat this. So I've got my darker grey. I'm just going to draft that out because it's a bit of a short piece and we don't want it clumping up, and we want it to really cover for at least a full circle turn on the drum card as well. Right, open up this one a little bit, just tease it. And then this one's got a little bit more to it, so it'll take up a bit more space on the drum carder. A bit more width on the drum carder because it's a bit longer. There we go. Then I'm going to go in again with my stripped off yellow that we took off the top originally. I'm going to put that on there. I'm going to take my tencel, and you're literally just repeating three layering steps. So this is the second step in my layering. So we'll read how many, we'll count how many steps it goes for each stage of my layering sequence. Right, dropped a piece on the floor. So I'll get this piece next, and it's going right along the fill section. Because what I want is, I want this gradient effect. So you've got these three different tones of grey going through. Okay, so you've got your three different tones of grey. But I also want pops of something else coming through them, and something that's a little bit more continuous, which is this piece, and maybe a little bit of yellow and some of this white. So you're going to have a really subtle gradient change. It's going to have little pops of like softer whites, natural greys, the little bits of yellow, all the way through, while it's transforming from the darker shade, mid-tone, to light shade of greys. So that's what I'm looking for. So again, now that I've done that section, I'm going to get my packing brush. Well, it's a carding brush. That's why I do it this way, because the tines are going down this way, so it's easier for me to come in from behind it. It's really hard to find a packing brush. Some people use, it looks like a boot brush. Some people use paint brushes. Some people use, I can't remember the name of it. It's like a long-handled picking brush or something like that. So you can use different ones, but it's really hard to try and find one of these where the tines go in that direction. Because if you did it like this and you're turning, you're actually going to pull all the fibre off because of the way the tines are going in the same sort of that way, and it's because they're that direction. And if I put them on the blend on the drum carder like that, they're actually going to, as I turn the drum carder, it's going to actually rip off the off the fibre off the drum carder. So I just take it from the back because the tines are going the opposite way, so I want them to go that way. They work because they slide down that way. When this is going that direction, it actually works in correlation with the movement of the drum carder, because it's got those tines on it. That's why I work from the behind and not the front. Okay, so that's done so far. So we're on to the last mix layer. So we've actually got one layer, 2 layers, dinky bit, 3 layers, 4 layers, 5 layers. So there's actually 15 steps to creating this batt. We've got 3 repeats of 15 steps. Okay, so if you just think of 1 set of layering, 2 sets, 3, 4, 4 and 5, and then you repeat that method until you've finished with your stash that you've weighed out. Okay, so again, there's the front layer of that batt we pulled apart, and I'm going to open it up so I can see the layered sections inside, and I'm going to have the layering sections facing up. Like so. And then the other one, again, I'm going to open it up. Can you see those layers? It's so obvious. See those layers? So those are the layers that I want to see up when I'm putting it on the board. Can you see? It's a method for double carding, really. So I'm normal carding and I'm double carding. So this batt should have a bit of loft in it as well. Okay, so we're at now the second stage, which is putting my gradient colour on. And it looks to me like my drum carder might need a bit of a pack again. So I'm just going to grab my card because it's looking a little bit full. So I'm going to do this again. This is because I'm doing this sort of double carding on those sections from the batt. Is putting more air in there into the batt. So next we do my darker grey. There you go, you can see that. Then it's the mid grey, which is quite a lot of this one, so we won't bother drafting it out, it should be fine. So we just want to open it up, tease it open so it goes on nice. There we go. And then the potty white or dove white on last. That's looking good. So there's quite a lot of that. It's starting to get compacted on that side. That's why it's sticking to the front. So I'm just going to catch that now. This last sequence of 5 or 4 or 3, you may find that you have to, every time you put something on towards the end, you need to just give it a quick carding down or packing down with your brush to help control those, so you can get the rest of your fibre on, so that your idea, your thought process looks really great. So there we go. That is the third step, which is the yellow from the pull off the top. Now it's the fourth step, which is my tencel, which I'm going to put on now. And I don't mind at this moment that it's sticking to the front of the liquor, because I will catch that and make sure it goes above this. So this is my 5th and final layering of 15 steps in this batt. So there we go, all done. Now from that distance it doesn't look like much, does it? But honestly, trust me, there is a colour gradient in there. You should see in a minute. I'll put the pictures up side by side to what it was to what it is now. I'll just give it one more turn around so I can catch these fibres that are on the back of the drums. I always do this, always give it one more turn all the way around. Open it up, move this out of the way. There we go. So you should be able to see the colouring, see the gradient fade. Look how subtle that is. That's how well we've done this. The really subtle of the colour change in there. Okay, really, really subtle. So you've got the natural mid-grey merino. I will show you that now. That is what it looks like. So that's what you've got. So it's undyed grey merino. Then you've got a hint of yellow, in the Shetland and in Corriedale. You've got some natural in Corriedale, and you've got some tencel in there. One second, I've got a bit of fibre there. Don't know where that's come from. Feel that's got a bounce in it. That's because it's got partial double carding in there. You've got fibre in there that's already been run through the drum card once, but now it's been run through twice, as well as one that's just gone through once. So it's like, it's a lot firmer. Right, so bear with me a second while I just sort this out. So there we go. So I'm just going to roll that up. And ever so subtle, little hints of yellow. Can you just make out, let me see if I can turn you around and we'll try and see if we can get some better light. It's been raining here today and it's sort of overcast and the sun's trying its best to come out. Maybe the photo will do a bit of justice, but you have got this mid-grey going round into dark grey, going into medium grey, and a really, really soft grey with hints of Angelina. And you can just, there's not a lot of it, but there are some bits in there which will be really striking. And then you've got the subtle hints of yellow in there that they won't be overpowering. They'll be really, really soft and subtle. And then you've got the shine and white from the tencel. So there we go. So that is from the cone of wool batt with the blue, the greys and everything else, and the really loud in-your-face yellow, but then revitalised into something that might actually be workable. So there, in a bit of a better light over near the window, is the results of that upcycled from a batt that would never sell and wasn't happy with on the shelf after 2 years and nobody wanted to love it. I've now created something a little bit softer, more subtler, and you can see that darker grey going through into the mid grey just ever so slightly, and then into this really soft grey. Let's see if I roll it out. There you go. So you can see the difference, just ever such a subtle change, and that's because I've used the blend from the natural grey merino that just gives it such more subtle a gradient, really, really subtle. So if you like that video today, please do hit that subscribe if you don't already, and if you do like to catch up with our videos. And don't forget to hit that like. Any comments or suggestions for future content, please do put them in the comments below. I do respond to all comments that people say. I won't be doing any live chats for a little while. I need to take sort of a back burner off of that. I'm burning the candles at both ends at the moment. I've got health issues going on and investigations going on, so I don't want to push myself too much. Plus, I've got Patreon as well. If you'd like more videos and content, a bit more in-depth, a bit like this sort of thing I do over there, there's a secret project on the go that I will be announcing on my Instagram account this Easter weekend, this Saturday. So if you want to come over and join me for a chat at 12:30 on Saturday on Instagram. Also, it is my YouTube birthday. I have been on here for 5 years. So if you'd like to get 15% off an order, you are more than welcome to go over and use the code EASTER in capital letters. Easter, EASTER. This is open to international orders and UK orders. It will take 15% off your total, and you can order anything from the website. And it'd be bats, rovings, rollags, spin sets, whatever I've got on the website. There's loads of stuff on there at the moment. There's 85 bats. There's about 10, 15 rovings. Some of them are 200 grams, so you can buy 2 of them. So you've got something for a bigger project. What else have I got on there at the moment? I've got spin sets. I've got mini bat sets, which are 5 bats in one pack that have a following theme colourway. I'm hoping to get some little project bags done. I just haven't had a chance at the moment. This secret project that I've got going on and everything else behind the scenes is taking a lot of my time, a lot of my spare time at the moment. So bear with me. I will be uploading videos onto YouTube every fortnight, but you can, as I say, go over to Patreon, www.patreon.com/Woolly Cottage. You can get me over there. You can join us for a week free and see what it's like over there. I do Q&A once a month. You can come over and ask me questions. It could be anything about fibre. It could be towards me. How did I get into it? This, that and the other. That sort of questions you want to ask, or you're just curious. And then after that, you'll be prompted to pay £3 a month membership fee and £5 a month membership fee, depending on what tier you want to be. The £5 get videos straight away. The other one gets the videos the following week. So it's just a week delay in the release. There's also now on there a yearly subscription as well, and that's slightly discounted. So if you want to pay for it all in one go, that's perfect. It's done. But what you do get over there is early content. So whatever usually goes onto Patreon, it's not released onto YouTube for at least 5-6 months, and then it's put on there, put onto YouTube or released onto YouTube from Patreon. You also get exclusive content over on Patreon, the videos that at this moment in time will never be released on onto YouTube. Not at this current moment, maybe future years down the line, but at this moment in time they're not going on there. And you get exclusive discount code to use as a Patreon member. It changes every month. So there you go. That's what you get. So as I say, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up. You can leave a comment in the descriptions down below. Links to the website are on there, and also have the code for the discount if you want to go and use that. And it's active until Tuesday, the 22nd of April. So the Tuesday after bank holiday weekend this weekend. That international orders, none to Europe or Northern Ireland. I'm still not able to send to you guys at this moment in time. I haven't got an EU representative, so I do apologise. That's something that will happen eventually, but not for a little while down the line. Anyway, I best go. I've got to go and film a Patreon video. It's spinning today. So you take care of yourselves, and I will catch you in a fortnight. Bye for now.